Yeah. So, hey, Ariel, how's your app going?
The app is an affirmations app, and it's one where you can record. There's quite a few apps out there for meditation and mindfulness and stuff like that. And some of them do include affirmations as well, where you can record your own affirmations. But this one, you can record your own affirmations. You can download from a public library. And the big differentiator is you can also send affirmations to other people. So it's really an affirmations app. It's not a meditation app that also does affirmations. It's an affirmations app, and it's all about affirmations that you record for yourself and that you send to others and that you download from the library. So that's the thanks. Yeah, it's really sending words of affirmation and affirming people. So I decided I haven't put the website together, but the website will be affirm yourself, affirm others, affirm the world. That'll be kind of the
Oh, nice.
Thanks.
Nice theme. Yeah. That is awesome. Part of what you're going to want to do is start to create your store presence. And the biggest thing to do is to have the description. In fact, I'm going to recommend that everybody goes back and takes a look at their current listing in the stores, because you want to make sure that what you're doing is you're attracting people to want to download your app. And sometimes what happens is people who've had their app for a while forget that they need to go back and take a look at that and refresh it and make sure that what's being said is really attracting people. We do have a formula that we recommend, but it gives you the do's and don'ts of it. And the biggest thing is the first 250 characters, not words, characters, because that's like the first 2 to 3 lines that people read, and that's where they're going to take the action the most. Is that they're going to look at that listing and they're going to decide if they want to read more. Now, you're going to have people who that's all they need. They'll hit install, done. They'll never go back and look at the store listing again. And you have other people who want to read all kinds of details about it. So you have to kind of cater to both. Mm-hmm. But the best strategy is to hit everything within the first 250 characters. Now, having good images and stuff, which is screenshots and whatnot, that's very important. Mm-hmm. But then you want to make sure that your words are set up for App Store optimization, which is very, very much like SEO, but it's for the App Store. And this is really critical with Google, believe it or not. Apple, it's important for Apple. However, Apple will continue to show you apps where Google limits it to 50 apps, and that's it. And they used to have it where you could have page 2, page 3, page 4, people are looking for it. So part of it is to make sure that your name of your app is something that's unique. More for you is very unique, right? And yeah. I know, Ariel, yours is, have you settled on a name?
Yes, Affirme.
Affirme. That's awesome. And again, it'll have like a unique spelling. Mm-hmm. And so that will help it stand out.
In a different language because Affirm was taken.
Yeah. There you go. Simple is better. Mm-hmm. So you want to go back and you want to check your keywords to make sure that they are still appropriate for your app and that it's still pulling out what you're looking for. For example, with the Brookfield Chamber, you don't necessarily want to advertise that it's Brookfield Chamber because people are going to think it's a chamber app. Mm-hmm. And it's really powered by or brought to you by. It's not that it's all about the chamber. I've seen chamber apps and they're all about, scheduling your meetings and being able, what activities are going on in the chamber. That is not this app at all. And therefore your store listing has to really reflect that because you want people to do this. And when they find out, when I talk to people about the chamber app and I tell them about the coupons and the discounts and the being able to reach these businesses, they're all over putting it on their phone. The one that I always go to is the Corner Bakery. It's like you can get a free treat from the Corner Bakery every time you walk in. And when we go back to doing in-person meetings and having coffee and whatnot with people for networking, it's huge. It's huge. And for that one spot alone, it's amazing. So pick on other ones too. When you guys are promoting the app, pick on other ones that are good that are in there that will entice people to want to not only use the app and shop, but to keep it on their phone. So to the App Store itself. The other thing that's really important in App Store, once you start on being able to get your App Store optimization, is actually ratings. And I think a lot of people forget about ratings, but that is something that you really want to ask your clients to do, your downloaders to do. And you don't want to get too obnoxious about it, obviously. But what you do want to do is reach out and talk to people and say, hey, can you give us ratings? Because the more ratings you have, the better Google and Apple are going to say, wow, this is an app that's got a lot of activity, and have it move up. And, you have people who are going to be just the not give 5 stars because they won't give 5 stars. But I think basically you're going to have a lot of people who are going to give 5 stars. It also gives them an opportunity to be seen. Is just one more spot. So like if I go out and do a rating as Unleash Mobile Apps, Google now recognizes that I put a review out there, and it just gives me one more little tick up on my own SEO. And so it kind of does a dual purpose in that respect when you're putting this on Google. Apple, obviously, they're, 2 different search engines, but you still want to get ratings across the board because it's really important. Personally, I have an app that I use past tense, and all of a sudden it wasn't getting the attention that I thought that it would have. And I went out to the App Store and I actually read reviews. This is one I've already got on my phone. And I looked and it said, I feel like this app has been abandoned. They haven't done anything for X amount of time, et cetera. And it was like, wow, that's really interesting that people are posting these reviews for this app that it's been abandoned. And it really has. I went on there and I looked again after not opening up the app for about 4 months, and not a new thing has been added on. Nothing. No push notices, no updates, no nothing. And so reviews can be good and bad, but you definitely want to keep your app active for that reason. And Google looks at that as well. So if they're only showing 50 apps now and not going to page 2 or 3, you want to make sure that yours is one of those 50 when it's searched in your category. And so that's the other thing, is making sure that your app is categorized properly. And so that's something that you want to make sure. Now, obviously, like Ariel's, yours probably would fall more into the self-help. And then business would be the one for the chamber, because that's the chamber. Like Captain Ryan's, his might be education, because he's, educating people on fishing and whatnot. So that might be where you want to take a look. But that's something that's really, really important, is that you've got keywords that are in there, phrases that are in there, and you are categorized properly. Plus, then on top of it, you want to have the nice images. The other thing that you can do now in the app stores is put a video about your app. And there's a lot of video makers out there that are easy to do. You can even, there's a free one, Adobe Sparks. And you can use Adobe Sparks and put like 7 tiles together, 7 still images, and create a video. So the video doesn't have to be long, but it helps highlight it. And they're really fairly easy to do. You don't have to have fancy video equipment anymore to really show it off. You don't want to be more than 1 minute, because you think about your own habits. Whenever you're creating anything on the stores, think about your own habits and what you would do. Nobody's going to watch a 2-minute video when they're browsing the stores, but they will watch a 30-second one. And if it really captures their attention, they might go all the way to a minute. But you want to make sure you can have music and whatnot to the video as well, but you want to make sure that it's mainly on silent, because people are searching the stores when they're in public. They're not just sitting there and they don't necessarily want to hear. So if you want to have the words coming across to talk about what it is, keep it short, keep it brief. You can have, fade in and fade out of the different screens to show the dynamics of it. But I would definitely highly recommend a video, because that right there is going to increase your search engine optimization. And there is no charge with the app stores to do this. So it's not like they hit you up for a better listing. Now you can pay for a listing. I believe if you were to search, I'm trying to remember which one it is. It's one of the health apps. And I believe if you search like weight loss or something, one of the other biggies is above it. Oh, I know what it was. If you search for Noom, Weight Watchers popped up, and then Noom. And the reason why is because Weight Watchers paid to have an ad up there. And, you guys, you don't need to pay to be an ad. There's other ways to do it. If you're going to put money into advertising, advertise people to download your app. You don't necessarily have to be on the App Store with that. But the video part is free, and it's in the very, very first spot. So as soon as people start to search, they will see the video, and the video should automatically play and be on a loop. But 7 slides equal a video. So you can use your screenshots. You can use a little bit about what your app is about, so people can capture that immediately. And you want to make it so that people will say, okay, either hit the action download right away, or read a little bit more about it. So then they want to take a look. So those are some of the real keys of getting your store, your app seen on the stores. And it works for both stores. The same video would work with both, just like the same images work with both. You do have to be a little careful with Apple that you don't make the mistake that I made once on the screenshots. And I actually just used the same ones from Google that I used in Apple, and they were on a Android phone, and Apple went, "You're promoting a non-Apple product on our store." And I was like, okay. As soon as I took them off of the phone, they were fine. So, but that's just little minor details that are able to work with. But the video itself can be the same. The descriptions can be the same. The keywords can be the same, all of those. And I want to say Google is now limiting you to 100 characters for your keywords. So you want to make sure that you do select those appropriately. And the same thing, Google also has a one-liner, and that's 80 characters. That is just a quick description of your app. So that's something that you definitely do want to kind of take into account when you're looking at different things. And some of the one-liners are really, really important. Let me just take a look here. Like this is ours for Brilliant Breakthroughs. Let me just pull this up here and take a look here. And I know that this one here, it was just a matter of getting a one-line description and it's called the short description. It's 80 characters, and it just is brilliant practicing experts share wisdom to help you and your business, period. Boom. So if you're looking for something like that, it gets you exactly what you want. It's that one-liner that it's talking about. Let me see here. Same thing, the one really quick one-liner for our Bark Bayview, which is Community Bark is a dog washing and grooming salon service servicing clients in the greater Milwaukee area. So boom, it just tells me exactly what I want to know immediately. And so that's where you do want to capture that one-liner, 80 characters, just immediately saying what they do. And Jerry's Automotive Service is a full-service maintenance and auto repair shop. Boom. So anytime that you are looking to do some of these, if you want to bring them here into the tank and get people's opinions, more than happy to do that. If you put together a video and you want to share it, so that others can see what you're working on, no problem. Same thing then with your long description and your keywords to make sure that it is something that is going to really project what you're doing. Okay. Do we have questions on the store listings?
Do you have a couple examples of some, well, I know you've done it. This is new to me about having the video. Are there a couple apps that you'd recommend looking at for good examples of that? Or maybe like the good examples and the bad examples?
Yeah. There's not that many videos that are out there. And so the ones that are really, really good examples are some of the gaming videos that are there, because they really attract. We did an entire session on videos. Tom from Trimark had come in, and I'm going to have you go back and listen to the replay of that one. Awesome. I know you have access to it, but I will be more than happy to take a look, because it's been a bit since I've looked.
Sure.
And so they're always changing, but I know Tom did a couple of them that were really good that he shared during that meeting. And I just can't remember right offhand what the names of them are. But I would highly recommend putting together a video that just really makes people want to take action. So again, think about your own habits and what makes you want to move forward with that. And it does, like I said, it doesn't have to be long. You don't want it to be long. Apple and Google will say out, because it's too long. But just something really fast to kind of show what your app can do. Let me see here if I can find any fairly quickly. I don't think I can. Because I know when we were looking around for ours, let's see here. And I know that they also are the ones that will pop up to the top when they are looking at them. Let me see here. I want to say, so here, this one isn't actually a video, but this is Snapchats. And you see how they turn their screenshots into something a little bit more fun. And all they would have to do is just throw these into being a video. And this is one of the best ways to find stuff, is to just go into the app stores and take a look at what other listings are. And this one lays it out really, really nice. You can get a good feel for what this is all about. And then over here, it's going to recommend different ones. Let's just take a look and see if TikTok actually has a video. And let's take a look here. Wow, even TikTok, that is nothing but a video store, does not have a video on theirs. Interesting. Very, very interesting. But what you would do is you would just come in here and you just start searching ones that are like yours. Let's see here. And you can see what your competition is doing. Which are very, this one here, some of the screenshots that they didn't really even capture what's going on. This one's not a very good listing. Somehow it landed in the first.
Yeah, I've seen this one quite a bit for me too, as I've done looking.
Done your
affirmations one.
Yep.
Makeup is a good one.
Yeah, no, this one, these are very attractive screenshots here. Again, they're missing on the video part. And let's see here. I had asked these folks to do this. Where's really linked? There it is. Really Linked has not added their video yet. They just did one. They did a really good one too. They did a nice video about what this app is all about. And if you don't have this one on your phones, you're going to want to. Really Linked. It's a great productivity app that will help you keep track of the people that are most relevant in your business to stay connected with them. Because unfortunately, too many times we make connections at different social events or networking events, and then we have coffee or tea with somebody, and then all of a sudden we've forgotten who they are, because we don't stay in touch. This is one that will do this. This is a free app. It's free now. It's always free. But no, I'm sorry, I didn't have enough samples of videos. I will work on that for next time, by the way, and find some good samples of some videos that are out there to do this. But I can definitely see the chamber throwing one together. It's not that hard. Ariel, I don't know if you have video software that you use at all.
I mean, I use Loom usually when I'm doing videos. So it's
Yep.
just, so you can do screen share, stuff like that. So like maybe do Loom. I also have some people I know are good with video that I could reach out to.
Yep.
Who have that mind and software technology too.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and like I say, Adobe Sparks, simple to use, very, very simple. It's just a matter of throwing together some slides.
Okay.
So that's definitely not a problem.
Got it.
But that's your store listing. And it's really, really important that it's attractive and that it's action taking. You want to have your call to actions throughout, and your call to action is very simple. You want people to download the app. That's exactly what you want people to do. So definitely download the app and make it attractive from there. So
you mentioned before Nancy, the comment about Apple and Google looking at your app and the ratings and everything, and that's good. And then there was the comment, and I've seen those two in other apps as well, of seems this app has been abandoned. Does Apple or Google pay attention to if you're doing regular updates, iterations, improvements?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, that's really interesting that you say that, because Apple and Google both are regularly changing the requirements for the app to be able to keep it updated based on software and changes. Because, like 5G now has come into play. And so all the apps had to be up to a certain standard. And that's something that your developer will do. The people that we've developed apps for, we are very good at, as soon as the new stuff comes out, that we automatically go in and just do an update and a refresh. And a lot of times you, the client, don't even know about it, because it's just some things that we have to do. But yes, in fact, Google in particular will drop you off of the stores if you've been abandoned. We had 2 apps that we were aware of where we just couldn't get the people to be very active in their apps, and they didn't even allow us to keep up the software. Although, like I say, we just kind of do it. But these were 2 apps in particular that all of a sudden they weren't up to date with what the coding had to be and the way that the mechanics of the app, which again, that's your developer's problem, not yours. And they actually took them both off of the stores. They could not be found. And it was when they went in to look at their back end, they could see it. But when somebody went to search it on the stores, they could not find it. Even if they specifically put in the name of the app, they could not find it. And it was because the softwares were not up to date. They weren't maintained. So do they see it? Yeah, they do. Do they take you down off the stores? They sure do. And so that's why you want to stay fresh and you want to stay up to date on things. Definitely if the software itself is not working. And that's the other thing, as new phones come out, you want to make sure that your software is up to date to work with the new phones. So they usually will work with the older phones. And there may be some apps that you have that only work with newer phones. The older ones, they'll work, but they won't do all the functions because of the updates and the improvements that have happened. And that's okay, as long as, you know, what was on an older phone will at least maintain. And that's usually what they do as well. Because when you update, you're just updating the actual mechanics of it, but they know to go back and to allow the older phones to still function. It just might be missing some functions when they're working with that. But yeah, you definitely do want to make sure that you are updating it and maintaining it and making it active, because they will pull you down off of the stores. And sometimes you won't even know it. Sometimes they won't even send a notification that that's what happened, because in their opinion, if you've abandoned it, so be it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I found a really good article that I shared with LeVar that I might share with the group. It was granted, it was kind of tied to my app a little bit, but it was also good for other apps as well. It was amazing blog post. I was like, I can't believe this person's giving away all this great information. So I'm happy to share that with you guys too. I'll try and find it to share. But one of the things in there was, Var and I kind of went through a couple of things. One of them was integrating with like Apple Watches and other smart devices. And he was like, ooh, yeah, we should probably do that. He's like, I'm gonna look into that. So that's one thing that we're working to incorporate as well, just given that ours is, you know, audio and kind of on the go and that kind of thing. I was curious if you have others who have done that integration, who have apps that are integrating into this other smart devices.
Yeah, actually the apps that we're doing that are our template apps, they automatically work with all different devices, because the templates are able to be universal across the board. And then as far as those that are very specific, we actually have one that we're just getting ready to take to that next level, where it can be used on a watch as well. It's okay for tablets. And that's the other thing. Apple in particular is very concerned that it fits a tablet, it fits the app, or you can choose to not publish on a tablet. You can say, no, this is not available on a tablet or a watch or whatever. You can do that. But right now, sometimes we just get the apps up and going. And then once we have it up and going, then we work on adding the little nuances that are the difference between them, because there are definitely certain ones. And one in particular that LeVar has been working on is the one for Captain Ryan, so that people can listen to the podcast through their phone or through their watches as well. It works fine with tablet. It works fine with all phones, but it's the watch part that we do have to work on that part yet. But no, you're right. It does make a difference. A lot of those that are the template apps, which yours obviously doesn't fit that at all, those automatically will conform because of the limited features that they have. Yours is going to be doing a lot more, especially with the sharing of a specific affirmation to a specific person. That's where it takes the extra code to make that work.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I forwarded that, and I also forwarded, I'm going to go to my sent to LeVar, but I forwarded that one, and also when I saw something come about which I'm sure you might have talked about, something about was it Google Store or the App Store, one of them, something about cutting the cost for small business owners to do apps in the App Store or something like that.
Oh, yes. I saw it was Apple. Google is not the problem. Google is a one-time fee, and it's not very expensive. It's $25 one time, and you have your own Google account. It was Apple. I did see that. And
Miller posted that and I saw that Apple's cutting their commission for small business owners. And then LeVar said, yeah, they went from 30% to 15%.
Yep. And that's for paid apps as well. I think they're still going to keep their annual fee going that they have. They're $99 a year, but they are cutting the fees, and hopefully Google will follow. Google was never quite as expensive, but at one time Apple was at 50%. So for every dollar that you charge for your app, they took 50 cents out of it. And that's why a lot of businesses were they were doing the free app, but then to unlock certain areas of it, they did that offline, because who can afford to give Apple 50%?
Right.
Yeah. But I had read that they are going down to 15 now for small businesses. Now,